The Young and the Restless, Y&R. Spoilers recap for Tuesday, July 20th, reveals that Sutton Ames, Jack Landron, secretly recorded murder confession will give Amanda Sinclair, Michelle Morgan, an advantage. Meanwhile, Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, and Sharon Rosales, Sharon Case, attraction to each other will remain on full display. At the Newman Ranch, Victor Newman, Eric Braden, will speak with Sutton over the phone and insist what he is offering is a quid pro quo. He'll be willing to hand over the incriminating letter in exchange for a favor one day, but he'll warn that the clock is ticking. Moments later, Adam will arrive and wonder if Victor was talking to anybody interesting, but Victor will lie that it was an old friend. He'll also put off work talk until later since he's got a lot on his mind. Afterward, Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, will ask Adam about Chelsea Lawson, Melissa Claire Egan, and Connor Newman, Judah Mackey. Adam will think Nikki can drop the nice act if she wants, but she'll concede that perhaps she was wrong about Adam's desire to change. Nikki will think the effort is genuine, but she'll warn that Adam will become enemy number one again if he backslides. At Crimson Lights, Sharon will get a text that's supposedly from Mariah Copeland, Cameron Grimes, Abby Newman, Abbott Chancellor, Melissa Ordway, and Tessa Porter, Kate Fairbanks, will also receive texts, so they'll all compare notes on them. The texts will talk about how overwhelmed and smothered Mariah was feeling. They'll also claim Mariah is going to be back before her next baby-related appointment, so that'll be a relief to Sharon, Abby, and Tessa. Later, Tessa and Abby will apologize to each other for all the snapping they've been doing lately. They'll argue about who deserves more blame for driving Mariah away and laugh about this being a better reason to bicker. Devin will also get the latest news, but Tessa will still seem uneasy over the fact that Mariah only texted instead of actually calling one of them. Back at Crimson Lights, Adam will come in right at closing time. Sharon will happily squeeze in one last cup of coffee for Adam, so that'll give them a chance to talk. Adam will admit Victor wasn't entirely wrong about the risks of Chelsea taking Connor to Minnesota. He'll worry about the possibility of Chelsea pushing for Connor to live elsewhere with her permanently. Adam will insist that he needs to be Connor's custodial parent. Sharon will suspect Adam isn't giving her the whole story, so Adam will fill her in on Chelsea faking her breakdown to some degree. Adam will admit he didn't say anything because he didn't want Connor's mom to land in prison. Besides, Adam thought Chelsea would get the help she needed at that facility, and he blamed himself for Chelsea's issues on some level. Even so, Adam will admit that when push comes to shove, Chelsea always reverts to form. Sharon will point out some people might say the same about Adam, so he'll acknowledge that she's right about that. However, Adam will like the challenge of trying to be a decent person. He'll wish he could have found this better path sooner, but Sharon will suggest that you can't always force change. Adam will remind Sharon that what she thinks about him has always been important, but she'll insist he should worry about the rest of the world since they're fine. Adam will think that's mostly true, but he'll add that he'd be lying if he said he didn't miss Sharon. After Sharon suggests that's just Adam's loneliness talking, Adam will contend that it's deeper than that. Sharon will get uncomfortable and point out that Faith Newman, Raylan Castor, is waiting for her at home, so Adam will thank her for the coffee and head on his way. Once Sharon is alone, she'll reflect on several powerful moments that highlight the push and pull of her relationship with Adam. Meanwhile, Adam will have some flashbacks of his own back in his office, including when he stole a kiss with Sharon at Society. In Amanda's suite, she'll be going crazy without updates from Victor. Devin will offer reassurance before Imani Benedict, Leanne Rose, shows up to declare they have a problem. Imani will reveal that Nia Benedict, Tasha's story, isn't answering her door and that no one has seen her around the hotel. Since Imani will worry that Nia skipped bail, so Amanda will decide they need to get in Nia's room. After security opens Nia's suite and lets the sisters look around, Amanda won't get why it was emptied out. It won't make sense to Amanda for an innocent woman to pack her bags and skip bail, especially since they agreed to Naya's terms for defending her. Imani will point out that maybe Naya didn't trust or figured they'd go after Sutton anyway. Just as Amanda's suggesting another possibility, Sutton will arrive with what Amanda assumes is fake concern. She'll rant about how she's going to prove Sutton is guilty of murder, not Naya. Amanda will demand to know where Naya is, but Sutton will deny any involvement and will insist they have to work together to find her. Amanda will insist that Sutton should sorry about his own damn self, so Sutton will wonder if that's supposed to be a threat. After Amanda rages over Sutton depriving her of her father, she'll refuse to let Sutton take her mother, too. Amanda will tell Sutton to get the hell out, so he'll step out of the suite and tell Victor that he's on his way. At the ranch on Tuesday's Y&R episode, Sutton will talk about gaining a new level of clarity and will want Richard's letter from Victor. He'll be willing to do Victor a favor when the time comes, but Victor will declare he's not giving Sutton the letter after all. Victor will suggest that Amanda has more use for it and will rant about how he has no tolerance for someone who betrayed his family. Sutton will fire back about Victor's own messed up relationship with his kids, but Victor will argue that he never turned his back on them. As Sutton gets increasingly angry, he'll point out that he didn't have the luxury of billions to buy his way out of problems. Sutton will insist that Naya deserves so much more and will talk about the 2 accidents of birth being sacrificed for the greater good. After Sutton says he can live with what he's done, he'll add that Richard could have brought down everything he'd worked for. Well, that was a risk I was not willing to take, Sutton will confess. Sutton will once again demand the letter, but Amanda will waltz out holding a phone that's been recording all this. After Imani joins in the confrontation, a flustered Sutton will argue that he said all that in the heat of the moment. Sutton will learn there's no letter at all, but he'll warn any charges against him won't stick. Amanda won't think Sutton should be so sure, so Sutton will ask what it is that Amanda wants. "I want my father back, you son of a bitch," Amanda will shout. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Amanda will work to convince Michael Baldwin, Christian LeBlanc, of the truth later this week, so stay tuned to Y&R. CDL will have other sizzling Young and the Restless spoilers, updates and news to check out, so stop by regularly. Ad block test, why?